Your brain lies to you every single day. And the worst part? You believe it every time. 1. The self-serving bias. Your brain's PR manager. Every time something goes right, you're a genius. When it goes wrong, it's obviously bad luck. That's your self-serving bias at work. Your mind's built-in propaganda machine that protects your ego like it's a fragile celebrity reputation. You didn't forget your friend's birthday because you're careless. You were just too busy. You didn't bomb that interview because you froze. The interviewer wasn't vibing. This bias keeps you sane, but also makes you allergic to accountability. It's like your brain runs your public relations department and fires anyone who tries to tell the truth. 2. The cognitive dissonance gymnastics routine. You think you're honest, until reality says otherwise. When your actions clash with your beliefs, your brain doesn't fix the behavior. It rewrites the story. You said you hate liars, yet you just told your boss you're thrilled about the new project. Instead of admitting hypocrisy, your brain performs Olympic-level mental gymnastics. It's not lying, it's professionalism. Cognitive dissonance isn't about logic, it's about emotional survival. You'll twist facts, edit memories, and even gaslight yourself just to keep your self-image spotless. 3. The false consensus trap. Everyone thinks like me. No, they don't. Ever post an opinion online and think, most people totally agree? They don't. That's the false consensus effect. Your brain's lazy assumption that your thoughts are normal and universal. You believe your habits, politics, or taste in pizza are mainstream, when in reality you might be one Wi-Fi signal away from being the local cryptid of your friend group. This illusion makes you overconfident and blinds you to how bizarre you might look from the outside. Basically, your brain keeps telling you you're relatable when you're actually just loud. 4. The optimism bias. Your brain's favorite scam artist. You think the worst will never happen to you. That's not courage, that's delusion with a smile. The optimism bias convinces you that accidents, failures, and heartbreaks are for other people. You'll ignore every red flag, keep dating emotional disasters, and think, it'll be different this time. Spoiler, it won't. Your brain feeds you this lie because it wants to keep you moving. Not safe, just moving. It's like a motivational speaker trapped in your skull, high on dopamine and denial. Sure, it keeps hope alive, but it's also why you'll text, "I miss you," to someone who clearly doesn't. 5. The spotlight effect. No one's watching, calm down. You walk into a room, trip over your own foot, and immediately want to fake your death. That's the spotlight effect. The illusion that everyone's noticing your every mistake when in reality, no one cares. People aren't judging you. They're too busy worrying about how they look. Your brain turns a coffee stain on your shirt into a viral scandal. It's your inner paparazzi, convinced you're the main character of everyone else's life. Ironically, the moment you stop thinking about how visible you are, you finally become someone worth noticing. 6. The illusion of transparency. Everyone can tell I'm dying inside. You think your anxiety is obvious, that your shaking hands, awkward smile, and half-broken "I'm fine" give you away. Nope. The illusion of transparency makes you believe your emotions are visible to the world, when in reality, people are terrible at reading others. You could be having a full mental meltdown, and most folks will just assume you're deep in thought about dinner plans. Your brain overestimates how see-through you are, making you feel exposed when you're actually invisible. The truth is, nobody's noticing your panic. They're too busy hiding theirs. 7. The confirmation bias. Your brain's personal echo chamber. Your brain doesn't want truth. It wants validation. That's why you notice every detail that proves you're right and ignore everything that doesn't. Think your partner's lazy? You'll remember every unwashed dish and forget every kind gesture. Believe you're unlucky? You'll collect failures like souvenirs and skip right over your wins. The confirmation bias is the reason arguments never end and conspiracy theories have fan clubs. Your mind is less of a detective and more of a lawyer. It doesn't look for facts. It builds a case to defend your ego. 8. The sunk cost fallacy. Why you keep dating your mistakes. You've invested too much to quit now. Money, time, emotions, maybe even therapy bills. That's the sunk cost fallacy whispering. Don't give up, it'll all pay off soon. No, it won't. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a dying project, or a gym membership you never use, your brain hates admitting wasted effort. So instead of cutting your losses, you keep feeding the fire and calling it hope. Psychologically, it's not commitment, it's emotional gambling. You're chasing the jackpot of "it'll be worth it," even when the slot machine is clearly broken. 9. The halo effect. When your brain gets catfished. You meet someone attractive and suddenly they're kind, smart, funny, and probably great with animals. That's the halo effect. Your mind's lazy shortcut where one good trait makes you assume all the others exist too. It's why charisma gets confused for competence, and why that hot coworker could commit tax fraud and you'd still defend them in court. This bias is your brain putting Instagram filters on people's personalities. It's efficient, it's flattering, and it's why you fall for the same kind of person who ruins your life every single time. 10. The Dunning-Kruger effect. The confidence of the clueless. Ever argue with someone who's completely wrong but weirdly sure of themselves? That's not arrogance, that's neurology. The Dunning-Kruger effect means the less someone knows, the more they think they know. And yes, your brain does this too. The cruel twist? The smarter you are, the more you doubt yourself, because you actually understand how much you don't know. So the world ends up run by the overconfident underqualified, while the competent sit quietly in existential dread. In other words, ignorance isn't just bliss, it's a leadership qualification. 11. The just world fallacy, your brain's favorite fairy tale. You want to believe the world is fair? That good people get rewarded and jerks eventually get karma slapped. It's comforting, right? Unfortunately, your brain created this bedtime story just to help you sleep at night. The just world fallacy makes you assume bad things happen for a reason, because the alternative, pure chaos, would melt your sanity. So you end up blaming victims. They must have done something wrong, just to preserve your illusion of order. It's your mind's version of a security blanket made of denial and wishful thinking. Reality doesn't care who deserves what, but your brain will keep pretending it does, just to avoid existential vertigo. 12. The bystander effect, when everyone waits for someone else to be the hero. You see someone in trouble? A collapsed stranger? A crying kid? A phone dropped on the subway tracks? And you freeze. Not because you don't care, but because your brain whispers, someone else will do it. That's the bystander effect in action. The more people around, the less likely anyone actually helps. Your brain passes moral responsibility around like a hot potato, convincing you you're not really needed. But here's the twist. Everyone else is thinking the same thing. So we all stand there, looking at each other, pretending to be deep in thought while humanity quietly fails its group project. 13. The availability heuristic, fear by headlines. You're not actually afraid of what's likely to kill you. You're afraid of what's memorable. Plane crash on the news? You swear off flying. Car accidents? Heart disease? Stairs? Nah, those don't trend. The availability heuristic makes your brain mistake vividness for frequency. It doesn't care about statistics, only stories. So you live terrified of rare disasters while calmly texting through traffic at 80 miles. It's not logic. It's your brain running on emotional clickbait. The media feeds it, your anxiety believes it, and together you build a mental theme park of irrational fear. 14. The Pygmalion effect, when expectations become reality. You ever notice how people start becoming what others expect them to be? That's the Pygmalion effect, your brain's tendency to obey invisible scripts. Teachers who believe their students are gifted literally make them perform better. Bosses who expect failure create it. It's not magic, it's micro-behavior. Your tone, posture, and attention shift subtly, and people respond accordingly. The same goes for your self-talk. Keep calling yourself lazy, and your brain will make it true out of loyalty. Expectations aren't predictions, they're psychological programming. Congratulations, you're both the programmer and the bug. 15. The false memory effect. When your brain gaslights you. You trust your memories, right? Cute. Neuroscience says your recollections are basically fan fiction written by your hippocampus. Every time you remember something, your brain edits it. A little exaggeration here, a misplaced detail there, until you're confidently recalling events that never happened. Entire friend groups have fought over arguments that only existed in someone's neural rewrite. The false memory effect proves your mind isn't a camera. It's a screenwriter with zero accountability. It doesn't want truth, it wants narrative coherence. You're not lying to yourself on purpose. You're just a very convincing, unreliable narrator. 16. The ego defense mechanisms, your brain's emotional fire alarm. When someone criticizes you and you instantly go, "They're just jealous?" Congrats. That's not confidence. That's a defense mechanism. Your brain hates pain so much, it distorts reality to protect your self-esteem like a bouncer guarding the club door. Denial, projection, rationalization. These are all emotional duct tape for your ego. They stop you from collapsing, sure, but they also block growth. Every "I'm fine" you mutter through clenched teeth is just your subconscious hitting the snooze button on self-awareness. Defense mechanisms don't make you strong. They make you a beautifully delusional version of yourself, and your brain calls that survival. 17. The actor-observer bias. Why you're the hero of every story when you mess up, it's because you were tired, stressed, or misunderstood. When they mess up, it's because they're an idiot. That's the actor-observer bias, your brain's habit of giving you excuses and everyone else a diagnosis. You're not rude, you're having a rough day. They're not having a rough day. They're toxic. This bias keeps your self-image polished while turning empathy into a one-way street. It's the reason arguments feel like courtroom dramas, where both sides think they're the misunderstood protagonist. And spoiler, both are wrong. 18. The planning fallacy. Why everything takes 3 times longer than you swore it. Would you think you'll clean the apartment in an hour, write that report before lunch, and still have time to hit the gym? Meanwhile, the sun sets, the day dies, and you're eating cereal over a laptop full of broken promises. The planning fallacy makes you underestimate how long things will take every single time. Your brain bases predictions on best-case scenarios, basically delusion disguised as optimism. You don't plan, you fantasize. The worst part? Even knowing this, you'll still do it tomorrow, because your brain loves the thrill of believing future you is somehow a superhero. 19. The groupthink trap. When intelligence becomes a team sport and everyone loses. You've been in that meeting where a dumb idea gets unanimous approval because no one wants to be that guy. That's groupthink, your brain's survival instinct dressed as teamwork. It trades truth for harmony and innovation for safety. The irony? Everyone in the room knows it's a bad idea, but silence feels safer than honesty. Humans evolved to avoid social rejection more than failure, so we smile, nod, and march straight into collective stupidity. Groupthink is how Titanic, New Coke, and half your friend group's road trips happen. Nobody wants to rock the boat until it's already sinking. 20. The negativity bias. Your brain's addiction to bad news. 10 people can compliment you, but 1 critic ruins your week. That's not drama, that's biology. The negativity bias makes your brain treat every insult like a saber-toothed tiger attack. Evolution wired us to overreact to threats, because the humans who shrugged off danger didn't survive long enough to reproduce. Fast forward a few millennia, and now your prehistoric warning system panics over emails and Instagram comments. Your brain magnifies pain, minimizes joy, and calls it realism. It's not trying to hurt you, it's trying to keep you alive. Unfortunately, that means you'll die safe, but miserable. 21. The authority bias. When you obey the wrong genius. If someone sounds confident, dresses sharply, or has a few letters after their name, your brain instantly bows. That's the authority bias. It's why you've taken bad advice from experts, believed nonsense from influencers, or followed instructions you knew were dumb. Your brain equates confidence with competence and status with truth. The Milgram experiments proved it. People literally delivered fake electric shocks because a guy in a lab coat told them to. The terrifying part? You're not weak, you're human. Obedience feels safer than rebellion. Your mind would rather outsource thinking than risk standing alone. Welcome to the psychology of every bad decision made under supervision. 22. The fundamental attribution error. You judge, therefore you're wrong. When someone cuts you off in traffic, they're a jerk. When you do it, it's because you're late. That's the fundamental attribution error, your brain's tendency to explain your behavior by context, but theirs by character. It's a mental shortcut that saves time but kills empathy. We see ourselves as complex, but others as cartoons. He's lazy, she's rude, they're stupid. Convenient, Tidy? Wrong. The truth is, if you lived their life with their fears and pressures, you'd probably act the same way. But your brain hates that idea, because admitting it means giving up moral superiority, and dopamine loves feeling right. 23. The endowment effect. Why you think your junk is treasure. You've got that old sweater you never wear, the broken gadget you'll fix someday, or the friendship that's been dead since 2017. Yet you can't let go. That's the endowment effect. Your brain's irrational belief that anything you own is automatically more valuable. It's psychological hoarding disguised as sentimentality. You'll reject better deals, defend bad investments, and cling to outdated beliefs just because they're yours. Your mind treats possessions, ideas, even memories like extensions of identity. Selling them feels like selling a piece of yourself. It's why you'll overprice your used couch and underprice your peace of mind. 24. The illusion of control, your brain's favorite delusion. You press the elevator button 3 times like it's summoning a demon. You whisper, "Come on," to your Wi-Fi router like it can hear you. That's the illusion of control, the lie that your tiny actions influence random events. Psychologists found people roll dice softer when they want low numbers and harder when they want high ones. It's adorable and tragic. Your brain can't handle chaos, so it invents patterns and rituals to feel powerful. It's the same reason gamblers, CEOs, and anxious texters all think they can manifest results. The truth? You're not in control. You're just narrating coincidences and calling them strategy. 25. The false consensus effect 2.0. The cult of normal. You think your opinions are common sense. They're not. They're just yours, echoed back by the algorithm. The false consensus effect tricks you into believing everyone thinks like you, until you step outside your bubble and realize you've been living in a psychological funhouse. This is why debates online feel like war. Everyone thinks they're the majority. Your brain hates being the odd one out, so it edits reality until you feel comfortably surrounded by imaginary allies. Basically, you're the main character of a movie no one else is watching, but you're convinced it's a documentary. 26. The self-deception loop, the lie that keeps you sane. Here's the final glitch. Your brain lies to you on purpose, not out of malice, out of mercy. Every illusion, every bias, every story you tell yourself is designed to protect you from collapse. The truth is too heavy to carry raw, so your mind wraps it in comforting fiction. You're not seeing reality. You're seeing the version that keeps you functional. Every morning you wake up, believe your thoughts, and call that sanity. But the line between delusion and survival? That's razor thin, and we all balance on it like pros. So yeah, your brain's been gaslighting you since birth. It edits, distorts, censors, and flat out fabricates just to keep you from short-circuiting. You're not broken. You're biologically misled. The real question isn't, do I lie to myself? It's, which lie am I currently living? Now tell me, which of these glitches do you catch yourself falling for the most? Vote for your brain's dumbest feature in the comments below.